Welcome back to the channel, everybody. We've got some more Madden 22 news today as EA Sports just released their new trailer for Face of the Franchise, the career mode trailer. They did show some new things that look promising, but as we know, this mode has not really been good over the last couple of years, so interesting to see how this year will play out. We're going to watch the trailer in just a second, and then I'll kind of dive a little bit deeper and explain some things better for you guys and kind of let you know what you can really expect out of the mode this year. But quickly, if you're new to the channel and you don't want to miss out on any of the upcoming Madden 22 news, especially more gameplay should be coming soon, make sure to subscribe, turn the bell icon on so you don't miss any of these videos when they go live. Alright, so let's check out the trailer. It's about 2 minutes long, and then meet me back here. We'll dive a little bit deeper into the mode. Okay, so there you have it. They showed us some new things, some things that look pretty decent, but again, this mode has been really bad over the last couple of years, so it's hard to get excited for it. I think one of the things that they said in the trailer, if you watch it on their actual channel, because it is narrated on their channel, but of course, copyright issues, so I had to cut that out on this channel, but they said that they're taking it in an entirely different direction this year. But based on the trailer, it looks like the exact same Face of the Franchise mode in terms of the direction. It's a story mode, pre-draft prologue, and then you go into certain things until you get drafted by a team. Now, when they say an entirely different direction, I think what they mean by that is the prologue aspect of it. I think from what I've heard, they're done with like the sappy made-for-TV movie corny prologue. Like last year, the prologue story was just, it was so bad. It was just like a cheesy made-for-TV movie, and nobody wants that. A lot of people don't even like playing the prologue as it is. I think they should give you the option if you want to play it or skip it, kind of like 2K does. However, if you're going to make people play it, it needs to at least be decent. And last year, it was just unbearable. This year, it looks more like just path to the draft stuff. You got your interviews, you got your workout with teams, which they've discussed in the trailer. You've got the podcast stuff. And of course, they say your decisions are going to affect how you get drafted. And of course, in the past, we've seen that that's not really been so much the case. So that's kind of two big things. The prologue needs to at least be decent and not sappy, which I believe they're done with that. It's going to be more simple, just like, hey, I'm trying to get drafted type stuff. You're going to play a little college and stuff like that as well. And two, your decisions need to matter. Otherwise, it's a big waste of time. Today's video is sponsored by Manscaped. Now, most of you that have been around my channel, you already know how much I love Manscaped and all of their grooming products for men, but now they just changed the game once again because they just released their Lawnmower 4.0 waterproof body trimmer, which now comes with a travel lock feature, and they've put this into the new Performance Package 4.0 kit. Now, I've talked about the Performance Package kit on this channel before, but they keep upgrading it every time they get new products, and it gets better and better. So now you get the Lawnmower 4.0, you've got the Weed Whacker nose and ear ear hair trimmer, which is a game changer because if you've ever tried to pluck those nose hairs, you know how much it hurts. You don't want to be doing that. It also comes with their crop preserver and crop reviver to keep you smelling clean and fresh down there all day long. And on top of that, you get the 2 free gifts, the shed free travel bag, which makes it easy to travel with all of your products, and my personal favorite, the Manscaped anti-chafing boxer briefs. Once you wear these, you'll never go back to anything else. Make sure to go to manscaped.com/Eric20 for 20% off plus free shipping plus your 2 free gifts. Your balls will thank you. Okay, so here are the bullet points that they had. So we already talked about the prologue a little bit. Now the new class progression system, I think, good thing, but how in depth is it? Because it doesn't look like it's going to be anything close to like what 2K has with the My Career, and that's really where they need to go, where you can break down every aspect of your player and make him truly unique. Now, the progression system they put in here looks almost identical to what the yard progression system was last year, and they also mentioned in the trailer that your progress between the yard and face of the franchise will be shared, so you can level your player up by playing both of those modes, which I think is a good thing. That's a little bit closer to what 2K is doing. That's a great thing, but it doesn't look like it's nearly as in-depth. If this is the same progression system from the yard, that's just not in-depth enough. However, it also looks very similar to the progression system that EA had in NBA Live 19 before the game was shelved, and the progression system in NBA Live 19 was actually really good. It was actually awesome. So it's kind of hard to tell if it's going to be a mix between them both or if it's going to be one or the other. If it's more like NBA Live, that's good. If it's more like just how the yard was last year, which was an oversimplified version of the NBA Live progression system, if it's more like that, I just don't think that's good enough. But I like the idea of different classes and kind of picking how your player is going to be, and, you know, certain abilities and certain attributes are going to be able to be built up more with that system. We really have to kind of see more about this when they drop all of the info on Friday to maybe have a better idea, but this kind of remains to be seen. Also, you know, there's more obviously scenarios. You can see that they're kind of sharing that with franchise mode, the cutscenes, which is good. They should share that. If it can work for both, why not? They also talk about new weekly side activity choices, which I think those can be good or bad depending on the type of player you are. Again, if you don't like that type of stuff, if you just want to get in the game and play, then you're not going to mess with it. But some of the good things about other career modes or older career modes in other games were that you could do the side things. You didn't have to always be locked into playing. There was other things you can do. You can live as your character. So I think that can be good if it isn't corny, if it isn't like weird, right? It just depends on like how they implement that. New in-game pressure moments, I think probably something is going to be based with the momentum system. I think that's good. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe some of the older, I don't know if it was NCAA or if it was Madden or if it was both, but I feel like I remember back in the day in some of those older career modes that they had those pressure moments in game where like your controller would rattle and like you would feel like, hey, this is a pressure moment. Like the game kind of made you feel that immersion. I don't know if I'm just like dreaming this, but I feel like this is another old thing they're bringing back, which I'm fine with. If you're gonna bring old things back, bring the good old stuff back. That's fine. They have the new podcast coverage, which to me this kind of sounds like could be something almost similar to like the Tony Bruno show. I don't know if it's gonna be like that, but this seems like how you would do that in today's world. So again, but if you have this in Face of the Franchise, I would ask, why is this not also in the regular franchise mode? But again, we don't really know a lot about it, but it does look like you're gonna be in a podcast. They showed some screenshots of it very quickly, so we'll see how that works. Other than that, some other things we saw in the trailer were like, you know, there's workouts on the Nike campus, which I think is a cool idea. You could see that there was like Odell and Saquon Barkley, who are Nike athletes, so I like that idea of like, hey, you can go work out with other fellow Nike athletes on their campus, on their field. I think things like that are cool. They showed, you know, obviously you can play some the college football championship again. You've got workouts with teams, which was in the older Madden career modes. When you would play career mode, you would work out with like 3 teams. So they bringing that back, which is fine. I mean, people like the old career superstar mode, so bring that stuff back. Instead of doing the sappy made for TV movie stuff, just let me do the basic path to the draft stuff. Let me play in the playoffs. Let me do my workouts with teams. Let me go work out with other athletes and things like that. Let me get prepared for the draft. That's really all people want. And I think when NCAA comes back, it's going to be fully realized, because then you don't have to add the college portion to the game. You can just play through the NCAA, and then you can port yourself over to Madden, and then I think it becomes more like the old school superstar mode. They did talk briefly about positions. They have linebacker now. I've talked about this already on the channel. I think it needs to be more than 4 positions. I think they're still dropping the ball with that. Not everybody wants to be the basic position. Some people want to be a kicker. Some people want to be a safety. Give them that opportunity. But other than that, I mean, we didn't find out a whole lot today. We just saw a little bit more. On Friday, make sure your notifications are turned on because they're going to deep dive into all of the new stuff, which will include a breakdown of the new class system, which is how you level up. I really want to know more about that because that is a very important part of the mode. They're going to go more into the enhanced season engine, which again is something they're sharing with franchise mode. They're going to talk about what the side activities are, the new scenarios, and the pressure moments. So a lot of important info that they actually need to go over because that's going to kind of help us determine, is this mode actually steering in a better direction, or is it just going to be more of the same that people have not liked over the last 2 years? So that's all for today. Make sure to subscribe if you're new. Check out some of these other videos right here, and I will see you guys next time.